Alright, today we're going over Math Study Guide 1007, the unit that covers area and volume. And obviously the most important part of this test is that you know your formulas. Very important for this test. Don't go to the testing table without knowing them. Alright, this is problem 1 through 4 we're going to do first. It's a rectangular prism. Obviously, the first question asks for the area of the base. We just said that it's a rectangular prism, so the bottom would be a rectangle. So we know our formula for a rectangle is area equals base times height. And straightforward, 5 times 2, easy enough. Problem number 2 is the lateral area. Lateral area for a prism we get by perimeter times the height. Now don't get mixed up with your area of the base and the perimeter of the base. Perimeter, you're going to add all the sides. Okay, this is a rectangle, so it has 2 sides that are 5 and 2 sides that are 2. That gives you 10, 11, 12, 14 is your perimeter. So 14, and then times the height of the prism, which is 4. We can see that right here. 14 times 4 will give you your answer for the lateral area. Now, for total area, which is number 3, we're going to take our lateral area plus 2 times the area of the base. Now, we find the area of the base in the first problem, right? We know that it is 5 times 2, which is 10. But we got to have 2 of those because this prism has a top and a bottom, okay? So plus 2 times the area of the base, whatever our lateral area is from this problem, plus 20 in this case. All right? And then the last one is volume. Volume is same thing. Volume equals the area of the base times the height. And we already know the area of the base, again, from the first problem, 10, and the height is 4. So your volume would equal 10 times 4. All right. All right, this is problems number 5 through 8. It's a regular square pyramid. All right, the first question they ask us is, what is the slant height? All right, so we have this right triangle in the middle, correct? And this is our short leg, our long leg, and the height is the hypotenuse. So this short leg, because the whole leg is 12, then from 6. All right, so we can just use the Pythagorean theorem. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. 36 plus 64 equals c squared. 100 equals c squared. The square root of 100 equals c. All right, so 10 is c, which is the slant height. That's what we need. Now remember, write it down. Write down what your slant height is so you can remember. Second problem is the lateral area, which is equal to 1/3. Let me check this just to make sure. One-third perimeter times the height. The perimeter, it's a square, so you add 12, which is one side of the square, 4 times, okay? 4 times 12 is 48. Times the height, which is 8, all right? The total area, you're going to add the lateral area plus the area of the base. Remember, the area of the base, this base is not the same as the perimeter. Don't get them mixed up. The base is a square, and the formula for a square is side squared. So instead of adding 12 4 times, you're going to times 12 by itself. 12 times 12, which is going to give you 144. All right? Then again, volume, this is the last problem, number 8, is equal to 1/3 the area of the base times the height. Okay, you already know the area of the base, you already know the height, So you just got to put the numbers in there. 1/3, 144 times the height, which is 8. And you got the right answer. Alright, moving on to cylinders, problems 9 through 11. The first step is lateral area. These are probably the easiest. You guys probably don't even need to go over these, but I'm going to just for sake of going over it. The lateral area, again, you should know your formula. 2 pi r, 2 times pi times the radius times the height. So in this case, radius is 3 and height is 5. Alright, so 2 pi times 15, and you can take it from there, okay? Total area equals lateral area plus the area, plus 2 pi radius squared, which is the area of the circle. 2 pi radius squared. Okay, so we already know this is 30 pi plus 2 times pi times the 3 squared. Alright? And you can finish that one as well. These are really easy, like I said. And then volume is pi r squared times h. Alright, so 3 squared times 5. This one's really easy. I think you can finish all these by yourself. Alright, moving on to problems number 12 through 15, the cones. Again, the first problem is going to ask you for the slant height. Just like the pyramid, same thing, they give you the right numbers. Slant height is equal to radius squared plus h squared. Okay, so they give you your radius, they give you your height. All you have to do is put it in the formula. 5 squared plus 3 squared gives you 25 plus 9 gives you 34. So L is equal to square root of 34, okay? Don't forget that as you move into the next problems because you're going to need to use the slant height. So we have right here our radius is 3, our height is 5, and our slant height is equal to square roots of 34, okay? The next problem is lateral area, of course, and it is pi times the radius times the slant height. Alright, so just put your numbers in. Just make sure you have the right ones. 3 times square roots of 34. Okay, so this is real easy because all you're going to get is 3 square roots of 34 pi. That's it, okay? Moving on to total area, you're going to get lateral area plus pi r squared. Alright, so our lateral area was 3 square roots of 34 pi plus pi r squared, which radius is 3. So 3 squared pi. So we're going to have 3 square roots of 34 plus pi plus 9 pi. And those cannot combine, so that's going to be the final answer, okay? And then volume. Volume is equal to pi times the radius squared times the height. Right? So volume is equal to 3 squared times 5 times pi. So it gives you 9 times 5 pi, which is 45 pi. That's it. Alright, moving on to problems number 12 through 15, the cones. Again, we need, the first problem is going to ask you for the slant height. Just like the pyramid, same thing, they give you the right numbers. Slant height is equal to radius squared plus h squared. Okay, so they give you your radius, they give you your height. All you have to do is put it in the formula. 5 squared plus 3 squared gives you 25 plus 9 gives you 34. So L is equal to square root of 34, okay? Don't forget that as you move into the next problems because you're going to need to use the slant height. So we have right here our radius is 3, our height is 5, and our slant height is equal to square roots of 34, okay? The next problem is lateral area, of course, and it is pi times the radius times the slant height. Alright, so just put your numbers in. Just make sure you have the right ones. 3 times square roots of 34. Okay, so this is real easy because all you're going to get is 3 square roots of 34 pi. That's it, okay? Moving on to total area, you're going to get lateral area plus pi r squared. Alright, so our lateral area was 3 square roots of 34 pi plus pi r squared, which radius is 3. So 3 squared pi. So we're going to have 3 square roots of 34 plus pi plus 9 pi. And those cannot combine, so that's going to be the final answer, okay? And then volume. Volume is equal to pi times the radius squared times the height. Right? So volume is equal to 3 squared times 5 times pi. So it gives you 9 times 5 pi, which is 45 pi. That's it. Alright, moving on to problems 16 and 17, the spheres. First problem, surface area, pretty straightforward. Surface area is equal to 4 times the pi times the radius squared. So 4 pi, we see it right here, our radius is 6 times 6 squared. So you're going to get 4 times 36 pi. Okay, pretty straightforward stuff. And then the total, or volume, that's what we're doing. Volume is equal to 4 over 3 pi times 6 cubed. Remember that it's cubed, not square, right? So you're going to get whatever 6 cubed is, and I don't know because I don't have my calculator on me. 6 cubed, you're going to times it by 4 and then divide by 3, okay? These fractions are really simple. You just have to times by the top number and divide by the bottom number, okay? Don't get freaked out at this fraction. There's nothing hard about it. Moving on to problems 18 through 21, this is where we deal with circles. First problem, really simple. The area of a circle, you should know this one by heart. Area equals pi times the radius squared. And the radius we can see is 6. So area equals 6 squared times pi, so 36 pi. Real easy stuff. Number 2, we're going to get the area. Excuse me a moment. Number 2, they want to know what is the measure of this central angle. What is the area of this? The area of the central angle. This is the central angle. Okay, so what this is, they're asking for is the area of the sector. Okay, on the test they're going to ask you what is the fractional part of the area of a sector. So we know the area of the sector is equal to the measure of the arc over 360 times pi r squared, right? So this would be 60 over 360. So we just have to tell them, hey, this reduces to 1/6. And we know that. All right. So let's solve for this sector. Would be 1/6 times pi and 6 squared, correct? 36 over 6 pi. Give you 6 pi is the area of the sector. And we need to remember that because the area of the segment is that minus the area of the triangle. Next problem we're going to go to, we're going to get the area of the segment, which I already told you is the area of the sector, which is 6 pi. We just did that in the last problem. And this is the segment here. So we're going to minus the area of this triangle. Now this triangle is not just a regular triangle, it is a equilateral triangle. We know that because this is a radius, this is a radius, and this is 60 degrees. So we need to solve for an equilateral triangle. Formula for an equilateral triangle is 1/4 side squared times the square root of 3. So 1/4 6 squared times the square root of 3 gives you 36 over 4 square roots of 3, 9 square roots of 3. So the area of the segment is area of the sector minus area of the triangle. All right? And the last one they ask you is, what is the circumference of the circle? Don't get mixed up between the area and the circumference. The area is pi r squared. The circumference is just 2 times pi times the radius. Rather than square the radius, just times it by 2, which gives you 2 times 6 pi, which gives you 12 pi, okay? These are real simple. Don't struggle with them. Don't get mixed up between your circumference and your area. Big difference. Okay, here we are at 22 through 25, which is the regular polygon. The first things they're going to ask us is what is the apothem and what is the radius. Okay, don't remember, this is the apothem. And this is the radius. Okay, now this is a hexagon. A hexagon is made up of 6 equilateral triangles. So this means every angle of this triangle is 60. So when we cut this one that is 60 degrees in half, we get 30. Here we have a 90-degree angle and 60. So you're going to use your 30, 60, 90-degree theorem, which says that A equals A, B equals A times the square root of 3, and C equals 2 times A. Now we know A, which is the short leg, opposite the smallest angle. It's here. This is 4, so we cut it in half. A is equal to 2. The long leg, which would be opposite the next angle, is here, would be A times square roots of 3, which gives you 2 square roots of 3. So that tells us our apothem is equal to 2 square roots of 3. And then our radius is 2 times A, so our radius is equal to 4. There you go, the first two problems. What is the length of the apothem and what is the length of the radius? Number 3 is, what is the measure of the central angle? We already figured that out, remember, because we knew that this was 60. It's made up of 6 equilateral triangles. 60, they say, what is 1/2 of the central angle? That's this right here, 30 degrees. And then the last one is the area of the regular polygon, which is equal to 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter. We found the apothem was 2 squares of 3. And the perimeter is 4 6 times. So 4 times 6 is 24. So that goes here. 24. 24 times 2 is 48, and then divided by 2 is 24 square roots of 3. That's the end. Do good on your test.